Testing, testing. Is it working?
Testing, testing.
Testing, testing. Is it working?
Testing, testing.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right. Let's get into it. Welcome to the third podcast. This is for 2026 SMX, talking about Houston. Got some interesting stuff to talk about this week for this race. This is going to be probably a shorter podcast. Unfortunately, I have to cut it short here later. But Jincy's also not here. He might hop in later, but Hunt actually went to Houston Supercross, so he'll be kind of like the main guy here today, talking about everything since he was there. A lot more you can talk about since he was actually there in person. As most know, when you see it on a television screen, it's not as I guess it's more underwhelming rather. So Hunt is here with us again. Jincy won't be with us today, but I'm gonna give it to Hunt here since he was there and just let him start it off.
Yo, Hunt, Gay Drop Radio. Let's get into the shit. But hope everybody had a good solid weekend. Glad to be back on the mic. As OP just said, we just got back from Houston, and I'm telling you right now, the Triple Crown was absolutely unhinged. NRG Stadium was packed, the crowd was losing it, and the track was straight up gnarly. I'm not even gonna lie, track was actually fucking gnarly. There's ruts everywhere, dudes making mistakes left and right. Maybe not the top dogs, but towards the back of the pack, dude. They were everywhere. Uh, and it was pretty much all day, dude. It was a pretty techy track, in my opinion. Just with the ruts and the sand that they laid down beforehand. But being there in person hits different, dog. TV does it no justice. The starts, obviously, you can see that from the TV, but that mattered. Had three of them to do. Um, One bad lap ruined your whole night pretty much. Seen that with Broxton. And you can see guys were racing with their head, versus just twisting the throttle. It was about, who can who can get in there. Like for instance, Webb, he was playing chess. Tomac was on the edge, ate shit. Hunter Lawrence, same thing. Probably would have had it if he wouldn't have crashed. But this is just Houston, dog. Just another round. What do you think, OP? That race told us a lot about this season, or no?
I definitely think it did, especially for 250s and 450s actually. For 250s, Deegan's 19 points ahead. Um, it was nice to see Kitchen up there. Not gonna lie. I think all of us have been anticipating a Kitchen and Deegan battle, and it didn't disappoint. Was shocked that Kitchen actually made a move on Deegan. After the whole finish line jump, he made a move, and Deegan clapped back and tried pushing him off the track. Um, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was good, and now for 450s, I feel like for 450s,
It's getting juicier for sure.
yeah, it's getting juicier. I feel like at this point, Cooper Webb won. That jumped him up in points quite a bit, and
But it also kind of helped. But Kenny benefited from it too. He got back into the third spot, and I think he's only about 12 or 13 out of the lead now. But I dude, I think I think the 450 class is starting to become juicy. Just because of this right here, dude. 450 qualifying, the pace was like from the jump, dude. The pace was fucking pretty intense. For me in person. Um, just seeing the quick movements that they're doing throughout there, double shifting, downshifting, just all the little stuff that you don't get to see on TV. Eli Tomac, dude, he still showed he had elite speed for qualifying, topping it. Um, he was looking comfortable pretty early. Chase Sexton and Hunter Lawrence, they were right there, dude. And they were separated by tenths. So that was pretty cool to see them kind of duke it out. And you could tell when they're setting up for a fast lap. You're like, oh shit, Chase is on one. Oh shit, Eli's on one. And you could hear when Eli was on one. Um, Cooper Webb, dude, the winner. OP, dude. he was not he you know not the fastest on paper, but he got it done. You know what I mean? Kind of mediocre qualifier for him, and then shit, right into it. Um, for me, dude, I will say this: a notable, like a good storyline, for me right now, was Ty Masterpool lining up in the 450 class. No sponsors, no nothing, just a blank canvas for him. He ended up not making the night show, but still sick to see him out there and ripping. Dude, he looked pretty decent on a bike of that caliber compared to what Roxon and them guys were riding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think,
As far as and before you get jumping, as far as 250 qualifying, dog, it was Hayden Deegan, and it was Hayden Deegan only. As far as qualifying, Kitchen showed some like speed in the second one, but it wasn't enough to get what Deegs had overall. But that's your qualifying for you for H Town.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think 450s to double back on what you were saying. I think at this point it's a 5 or 6 rider championship. Like, it seems everyone's had Cooper Webb's had a few bad races. Finally got his first win. I'm a Cooper Webb fan. I want him to win. It's weird. I want everyone to win the championship in the 450 class. I want Tomac. I want Sexton. I want Roxon. I want Webb. I mean, at this point, I feel like anyone could win the championship for the 450s. I think it's going to go all the way down to the end. Um, Tomac had a pretty crazy get off. I haven't seen a get off like that from him since 2023
Right.
Supercross, and that was pretty wild. So I'm glad he's okay. Pretty gnarly to see that though. Whole shots the third race, and then didn't make podium, but still got, I think, what, fifth overall, which is, he salvaged the day. As Ricky always says, your champion, as everyone actually says, championships are won on your bad days. So pretty gnarly for Tomac. I'm glad he's
And
all right.
and and OP, that's exactly what I was gonna say earlier about Houston. Um, you know what I mean? Like, dude, like championships don't get won on nights like Houston. But they sure as hell like you're riding everything. It sure as hell gets exposed. You know what I mean? Um, so I mean, you could see who's in it for the long run for sure. Um, but you want to start? You want to get into the night show before we start running out of time here? 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
pretty much qualifying. It was pretty cut
yeah.
dry. You know what I mean?
We'll go ahead and just jump straight into 250s. 250s was, pretty, in my opinion, a snooze fest, but was happy to see. I think everybody is finally happy to see that the Deegan and Kitchen battle. Deegan with a whole shot in the first race, and then the 2 races after that, he got a top 3 start. So his starts are definitely getting better, and I think we all know is like if Deegan gets a start, even if he doesn't get first, I think for him, especially right now, obviously he wants to win. I think everyone knows that, but it's okay to get a second, even a third, because at the same time we need to play the long game here, and I keep hearing, especially in the press conferences and interviews, is like, oh, are we going to see Deegan on a 450 at round 7 or round 8 or whatever round it may be? And, he's playing it smart. In my opinion, I don't think he needs to go to the 450. I think he needs to focus on the championship because he could easily go to that 450, crash, and now the 250 championship's gone. So, in my opinion, Deegan just needs to stay 250 and push for that championship, wrap it up a round or two early, get it out of the way,
I
and
agree.
focus on
I
his
agree. If
450 outdoor career. And then on top of that, yeah, we saw Kitchen and Deegan battle it out. They both ran it into
if
each other. They both had some aggressive racing towards each other. And
well, main event one was after D ripped the start, which me and you both were probably wigging out. You know, I was there wigging out in person. But after he ripped the start, dude, it was pretty much a snooze fest for me, at least for 250 race one.
yep,
Um, but race two, excuse me, race 2 and 3, dog. Um, I'm impressed with how D kept himself up there. He didn't rip the start or nothing. He was probably fourth or fifth, second and third race, but he let the race come to him. He made he made the passes that he needed to make. Didn't get too caught up in the shit, and just once he got the lead, dude, I think he just cruise control, dude. I mean, that's what it looked like, bro. I mean, he just was. I feel like nobody could touch him, bro. In Houston, dude, it was in person. The shit Deegan is doing, bro, is fucking impressive, dude. Love him or hate him, man, you gotta give the dude some kind of fucking credit, man. He's ripping. He's a ripper. But I like what you said. I don't know if you said that a while ago or earlier, but it was awesome to see Levi there. The train in my background. Sorry. Um, it'll be just for a minute, but it was, in my opinion, it was cool to see Levi get a start. Because for me, I felt like we got what we've all been waiting for, which was a Deegan versus Kitchen battle. Granted, tight track, eh, whatever. We finally got it. He stayed up off the start, and second race, I think he ran it in on your boy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Deegan. Well, so here's the thing. There's two passes I want to talk about here, and it's the pass where Deegan passed Kitchen. Looked like an exact copy of St. Louis. Um, Ruts all up in the corner. Literally the exact same move Kitchen pulled, except Deegan, one, didn't take himself out. Two, didn't. I wouldn't say he pushed him off the track, but he did. He did nudge him a little bit, enough to mess up his rhythm in that section. Clean pass,
He executed.
perfect
He
execution.
executed.
Yeah, perfect execution. But a pretty much an exact replica of what Kitchen did to Deegan, and Deegan had all the opportunity to literally put him in the dirt, put him on the other side of the track, but he didn't. Which I'm a little shocked and surprised because we know how Deegan rides, and I'm all for it. And then the other pass I want to talk about is the failed attempt by Kitchen to pass him after the finish line jump. Pushed him wide. Deegan cut back and pushed him almost off the track in the whoop section. Um, I mean, I think I'll be honest. I think it's kind of ballsy Kitchen's doing that stuff, considering he's already that far in points. But at the same time, we all know Kitchen's potential. Had Kitchen not had three horrible races, I think he'd be in the points. He'd probably be a championship contender, honestly. But that's racing. That's just how it is. He's not really in the points. He's like 30 something points back. So um, it's gnarly to still see that though from Kitchen. And I also heard that I saw a comment saying Kitchen didn't actually take him out because he's trying not to have what happened back in St. Louis happen again, which I don't know if that's true, but if I was Kitchen, no offense to him, but I don't think he might get third in the championship, maybe, if he can keep it up. But if I was Kitchen, I'd say, look, just stay healthy. Don't. I mean, yes, race your battle. Don't take anyone out. If it's
He's
if you're first place and you're trying to last lap, that's one thing. But for someone who's not in the championship, I don't think it's worth it because we all know what's going to happen. It just keeps fueling the fire for Deegan.
for
Um,
sure, and
so
that's what at the end of the day, that's what Deegs is reaching out for. He's reaching out for you got to be motivated by something, and for him, it's Levi Kitchen, unfortunately. But if Kitchen wants to be anywhere close at the end, he's gonna have to start clicking them off, in my opinion. But let's talk about his teammate, OP. He's kind of been riding in the dark. I mean, not dark, I wouldn't say, but he's kind of just been silently coming, dog. And that's balls
McAdoo.
out, Cameron McAdoo. Yeah, stayed steady and consistent, earning a third overall without doing anything flashy. I mean, just straight up fucking smart riding by him, dude. Pulled three great starts and just kept her fucking going. So, what's your take on McAdoo right now as far as championship and in Houston? Do you think Houston kind of set the tone for him? from here on out in a way per se? You think
I
he's kind
think
of seeing it?
I think for McAdoo, for someone who, and I love a good comeback story. I really like McAdoo. I do I do find his podium speeches a little annoying
Oh, they're
because he kind
cringe.
of
They're
just
cringe.
he just goes on a tangent the whole time, and it seems like he's
Cries.
gonna cry every single time. But I get it. Dude's been through a lot. He crashes a lot, but he also had, it's cool to see him up in the front. I think he's been the second most consistent rider in my opinion, besides Anaheim. I'd say same thing as Deegan. Bad first round, and then the next 3 rounds, he's been pretty consistent. Um, been up there. I mean, he's gotten 2 podiums out of the 4 races, and he is, like I said, in my opinion, the second most consistent guy, and I could see him easily being runner up in the championship or even third. And I don't know. I really don't know if he would win the championship. Like I said, I think it's kind of already over. If
Yeah, it's
Deegan
gonna
just
take some
stays
help.
on 2 wheels, the championship is pretty much over for 250s. I mean, there's 10 rounds total for the 250 West Championship, including all the East West shootouts. So we're already 4 rounds deep. There's 6 more rounds to go, and in my opinion, I think Deegan is, if he stays in the position he's at with good starts and winning like this, I think for sure wrapping it up a round early, and there's potential to wrap it up 2 rounds early. Um,
It's it's put it this way, folks. It's literally Deegan's to lose. It's what basically OP is trying to say. Like
yeah,
he's put himself in a good position from A1 all the way to Houston. Literally P4 and then has progressed. I mean, won ever since. So I mean, he set himself up, dude, and I think the work that he's putting in throughout the week, I think it's showing. Dude, I mean, Brian says it all the time. He tries to get him on a family, excuse me again, tries to get him on a family vacation, and Hayden's like, I'm gonna train. It's showing. So can't hate him. Ready to move on to 450s?
let's
Um,
do it.
because I mean that's pretty much 250s. I mean there's
Yeah, 250s is just.
kind of a
Well,
snooze
hold on,
fest.
250s real quick. Let's talk about Anstey and Mosiman, two of the next
True,
guys
true.
in this series that, also I'd say were in that championship contention. They still are. But Anstey and Mosiman, I'm not going to talk about each race, but I want to say I'd say pretty subpar performance from both of them. Anstey
They
was
both had
there in the last
crashes.
race.
I think they showed the one Max's on TV. I think he got clipped with a foot peg.
Yeah, and
So I mean
Mosiman
that
tucked it
kind of
at the finish line.
yeah that kind of drug him through it as far as overall. But yeah, Mosman too, fucking just simple washout, man, right before the finish, man. And they were both, I think they were both up there in the third race too. So very unfortunate. Think
Yeah,
about it.
no,
Oh,
absolutely.
another thing I want to talk about in the 250s OP. I seen this today before we move on real quick. I seen this today. Duff apparently hit somebody with the pit board and got fined.
Yeah, I don't know who he hit, and I don't know. I saw that. I guess that's a new rule. Obviously we saw that
I didn't know
happen
that was
last year with
something that they
Shimoda.
did.
I didn't
Okay,
know it was
okay.
either, but I'm assuming it's a new rule because of what happened last year with Shimoda. So um, I don't know what rider he would have hit. I'm assuming it would have been at the very beginning of the race. Um, I don't know. I don't know who it was. Maybe Kitchen. I don't know, but uh, yeah, no, I saw that as well. Pretty interesting. Um, yeah, I really, like I said, I don't know who he hit, but probably a new rule also. After seeing what happened to Shimoda last year, I don't really have an issue with it, but I am a little surprised that it happened, and I didn't even know that was a rule.
I didn't either. It was kind of when I read that I was like, what? Kind of shook. I didn't think about that, but I guess it happens, dog. Honestly, stuff happens.
Yeah,
And it was kind of tight right there. So I mean, and they were kind of going wide to set up to go
They
over
yeah, they
table
were
right there.
jumping. They were pretty
So,
much jumping over that tough block, pretty much right next to the mechanics area to get that run to double over or triple. I guess it'd be a triple. But yeah, it was interesting to see.
for sure. 450 main event one. Oonts, oonts, oonts. Main event one. Oonts, oonts, oonts. I'm just kidding. Um, nah, everybody, buckle up, because here's where we probably get into some juicy stuff, because 450s was actually pretty exciting. The starts mattered immediately, right from the gate. You needed to pull the start. Uh, the traffic was brutal through that first section coming towards us. It just looked like chaos if you got a junky start. You know what I mean? Um, I will say Cooper Webb didn't get the win, but he put himself in a strong position. I will say that. Of course, I'm a Kenny boy. Love my 94. It was awesome to see him immediately attack for the lead and then get out and hold Chase off. I think Chase made a couple of mistakes, which gave him a gap towards the end of it. But um, yeah, main event one, all Ken Roxons, no doubt about that. Um, I OP. So if we look at Eli Tomac, I mean he had speed, obviously qualifying. It's Tomac. Um, but he didn't fully. I mean, in my opinion, he didn't capitalize early, right? I mean, he kind of got like a mid start and like only gained a couple positions, and then that was kind of it, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think his starts on the first race were not so great. But he went. I think he went from like seventh or eighth to third place. So he capitalized. He salvaged. So he did good. Chase Sexton got second, but then the third race for Tomac, he had that get off. Went from I think it was close to last place all the way up to 13th. So salvaged another race. I won't even say the first race was salvaged. I'd say just sticking on two wheels and just keeping it close
getting
and
through it, getting the
getting
low
through it.
points because it's Olympic scoring. So
And
you know
then
that was like strategy one.
yeah, and then the last race, whole shot wins easy. Got fourth, got fourth um overall. And again, championships are won on your bad days. Now we're still so early into the season that it doesn't really matter. But he did good. And I mean Chase Sexton got second that first race, ninth the second, and then sixth the third. Um I
Mediocre
think
night.
this
I think he
yeah.
washed out a couple times too. I'm pretty sure, but
I think this track was a lot harder for 450s, and I could be wrong, but because of how tight and techy the track was,
no, you're right.
there's
Absolutely,
just
you're right.
I don't know, man. I mean, there was a lot of passes. It was gnarly. Like the second and third race, gnarly. Everyone was close
Absolutely,
to each other.
I agree, dude. Race two for me is where Houston really flipped. Obviously Hunter Lawrence came alive, grabbed the win. We got to see exactly probably what Hunter Lawrence is actually capable of. I mean, he had speed and confidence in my opinion, and he just looked like he knew what the fuck he was doing. Cooper Webb stayed patient, didn't panic, and he kept himself in the championship mix. And this is from my perspective. He just was there. You know what I mean? Race two, he was there. I definitely feel like had Ken Roxon gotten around J Coop in race two, OP, I think the night was his. Right or wrong. Because also in the third race, I mean, if he would have got around J Coop, that would have gave him a little bit lower of a point, but he would have had a little buffer, in my opinion, going into race three when JA was kind of in his way and ran him freaking stinking high. Or was that race two? I don't know. But either
There's so
way,
many races. It's hard to like. It's kind of hard
it's
to
hard to
talk about
remember it,
that and
but
hard to remember. But I mean,
I
yeah,
think he should have got around J Coop. I mean, he was catching him in the whoops and then would kind of make a mistake, and then J Coop would separate again, and then here comes Ken Roxon with with 0 seconds on the tower, dog. I looked over and was like, okay, there's no time left. I look over and Ken Roxon is like on him. He's like pushing, making that last push, and just couldn't get it freaking done, man.
yeah, yeah. No,
Couldn't
no.
get it done.
I mean that's one thing I kind of like about Triple Crown. Hold on. that's one thing I kind of like about Triple Crowns is, I mean, Cooper Webb. I mean, he had a decent night. I'd say a consistent night. He went 4 in the first moto, second in the second, and then the third moto he got third. So it was a 4-2-3 scoring for Cooper
Oh,
Webb, and he ended
he
up
did
getting the
get
overall.
second in the second race. That's right.
Yeah, and he ended up
My bad.
winning. He ended up winning. Like that to me is what's gnarly with the Triple Crowns. I'm not really a big fan of Triple Crowns, only because I th- I don't know why I'm not, but I think it's more the fact that with I don't really like the LCQs also in the normal races. I think they're one of the funnest things to watch because it's literally, no offense to the riders, but mainly privateers gunning for that just that spot in the main event. But with Triple Crowns, I'm not really a big fan of. A lot of races, a lot to remember. The scoring can get confusing. Me personally, I like the normal layout of just heat races and then main event. But the one thing I do like about it is you don't know who's gonna win, and it's 3 races, 3 main events, pretty much. And I mean, Cooper Webb capitalized and he won. And I don't even think he was expecting to win this race. I didn't expect him to win this at all. When I was watching the third moto, seeing the results as is, when they pass a rider, they were saying Cooper Webb is going to win this if he stays in his position, and he won. And we all know what happens when Cooper Webb finally wins.
It's over. He starts to it's like that fire burning in his ass, man. I think OP, I'm not really a Webb guy. But what do you think what do you think about this? You think Webb is the smartest rider in Supercross? I mean, look at Houston. He didn't win a race. He didn't look the fastest in person to me. He didn't look like he was the fastest guy out there, but he still won the effing night, dog. Um, do you think he just puts him? Do you think he's the smartest rider in Supercross right now? I think he is. I think he's
I'd
the dog when it
I'd
comes to
say
that
so. I'd say
mentality.
so.
I
I'd
think
say
so.
so, yeah. And he's also, I think, in my opinion, the most consistent. I mean, look what happened last year. I mean, to be fair, and this still doesn't mean anything. I always say you have to be in it to win it. So I know some people say, "Oh, well, he was gifted the championship," or Chase Sexton was gifted the championship, which, in my opinion, he kind of was because Tomac literally was out one more round before winning the championship. So, but I will say you have to also be in it to win it. And last year, Cooper Webb, consistent guy, would get starts, he didn't win every round, but guess what? He'd get second, and that's all that was
He kept
needed to
himself
win.
there.
That's all that was needed. You don't have to win every race to win the championship. You just have to be there. So I'd say so. And
Who's
so, go ahead.
who's I didn't want to cut you off because I'm kind of jotting through stuff here, or trying to make it quick. Who's P2 in points right now? Is it Hunter?
Yeah, 4 points back, I believe.
So I mean, I would say
He
he's
hasn't even won.
officially he's officially a title threat. Like he's there, dog. Um, this isn't this, no, it's not rookie momentum. None of that. Like that's all out the door. He's been in the 450 class for a minute now. Um, this was strictly a main event win. Clean riding under the pressure that he had with the guys behind him. Um, and dude, Hunter Lawrence. I'm gonna say this right now. He looked when he was coming through the like lappers and stuff. Dog, he didn't flinch. He looked like he just was hitting his shit, doing his thing. He wasn't, like, oh, this guy botched my 3 in or whatever, dude. He was still doing. He didn't panic. Um, I don't think he's adapting anymore. OP. I think he's arrived. I think Hunter's here to win it now, and dude, hate to say this shit, but he very much so could take it to Eli all the way to the end.
No, I agree with that. As much as I don't want a Lawrence brother, just a Lawrence in general to win because we've seen Jet Lawrence win so much, I think it'd be cool to see Hunter Lawrence actually win. Am I a big fan of him? No. But would I be upset if he
Exactly.
won the
Yep.
championship? No. Uh, I mean, the thing I think most people are excited about, and I've seen this on many podcasts, many comments, many posts, is the 450 championship this year is a lot more exciting to watch. And no offense, but because Jet Lawrence isn't there, so now we have another Lawrence stepping up to the plate, 4 points back. I think this is going to be, yeah, I think it's going to be back and forth. I don't know. Maybe
And
this
I
lit a fire under
and this
Tomac's
is
ass, and he starts winning every single race. And then,
and
I mean, Hunter Lawrence is
that
not the most consistent guy, though. He got seventh the first race. I mean, he has to, and I'm not saying,
I,
it doesn't matter, though, because he still got second overall, but he does need to, I think he just needs to get more consistent.
I'm gonna be. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, let's roll on to Eli. And I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I'm not. I'm just speaking from my thoughts here. His crash happened right in front of me. I was like, oh shit, is he gonna get up? Gets up, boom, takes off, wins race 3. So I mean, he shows that he's okay. But I think as the season goes on, I think we're gonna start to see Tomac kind of maybe not necessarily struggle, but like not comfortable in a way. You know what I mean? Just different tracks. I don't know. Plus his crash this past weekend, I think that I don't know. I think I see a momentum shift is what I'm trying to get at. Like the momentum is shifting, and dog, all it takes is two, not even two. All it takes is one bad race for Hunter and Tomac both, and Kenny's back in it. Webb's in it. Chase is in it. Holy cow! Kind of like insane season that we're having for one, but I I, I think we start to see Tomac kind of struggle a little from here on out. Just my take on it, because he's going from a tight track this past weekend to a big wide open floor, then Seattle kind of mediocre, and then straight into Arlington.
And we all know Glendale is Ken Roxon's track too. So I think
What?
what?
I was just saying, like, what? Of
Yeah,
course.
I think Ken Roxon swept the Triple Crown there. Not last year, but the year before. Or no, not the year before. On his Honda. I can't remember when, but I know he swept I think it was Glendale Triple Crown. Um, but I think yeah, I mean I could see it. I don't want to agree because I want Tomac to win, but I could definitely see it. But yeah, I mean what I was saying earlier, I think it's literally a five-way championship at this point. I think Chase Sexton could win it, Tomac could win it, Roxon, Hunter, Cooper Webb. I think it's going to go all the way down to the end. I
And
do think it'll
it's
start to kind of level out in the next few rounds. I say by round 8 or 9, we'll kind of start seeing like, okay, whose championship is this?
and that's
Um,
what they always say, right? Like they
yeah,
always say after Daytona, you can normally kind of see like who's there, whatnot. Let's real quick. Let's talk about number 94, dog. If he cracks off a win before Daytona, I think his championship hopes are even bigger. But as of right now, I can see it. I think Kenny's in the long game. Nights like Houston are literally how championships stay alive, dog. Amongst all the chaos that endured in the 3 races, Kenny was there each one, regardless if I mean, yeah, he was out of the top 5, but he still put himself in the third spot of the podium, and he's only I think like 12 or 13 points down. Um, what do you think about that? No drama, no crashes, no desperation. Think he's in the long game, huh?
dude, I think they're all in the long game. That's what I'm saying though. I think anyone could literally win. I think no, I don't like I think we could see a few red plate holders. I think we could see Ken Roxon. If Ken Roxon gets the red plate being 13 points down, or I think it's I don't even know 12 or 13 points down. I think
What
and
that's kind of
Tomac
like
and
what I'm
Lawrence
getting
are
at.
there.
Like normally you see Roxon sprunk out A1, he'll win it or something, and he kind of like I don't know, burns his energy and then like doesn't get one till Daytona. And I think for me, him just there chilling, staying there, staying alive, staying strong, staying healthy. I think this gives me hope. of course, it hurt. Hurt to see Webb beat Roxon yet again in Texas, but man, I like Kenny's hopes. I mean, I like his chances right now.
Yeah,
I
no,
really do.
absolutely. I like them all. And it's hard to say who I really at the end of the day. Like at the end of the day, I think I want Tomac to win because Tomac's been through a lot. I'm not saying Ken Roxon hasn't, but Tomac had his championship stripped away from him in 2023. He got injured in 2024, or was it 2025? 2025. Um, so I mean, I really at the end of the day, I want Tomac to win this thing through and through. I love Cooper Webb as well. I was happy he won another championship. I didn't think he was going to win one ever. He didn't even think he was going to win another one. And then, you know, I I definitely thought had he won A1, which it looked like he was about to. Okay, and then we got the red flag. Um, I think Cooper Webb would also be more in the championship fight, but it's just hard to say. Like, I mean, Ken Roxon definitely has it. Like you said, he'll win like A1 or A2, and then come back a few rounds later and win again. It's just
And then
hard to
that's kind
say
of like it.
yeah. I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
no
And
offense
then
to
like
Roxon.
versus now, like he's not doing it, and I think his wins are gonna come later when he fucking needs it. Finally, you know what I mean? In my opinion, this is my take as a Roxon fan. Um, since we're talking about championship, like, what do you like? If I'm gonna go ahead and say this, yeah, I don't want to, being because like my heart tells me that oh, just say Ken Roxon's gonna win it, but I have to get realistic. Um, we know Webb's sneaky. Do you see a Webb versus Lawrence? Tomac wins races, but he just gotta gotta keep the clean nights rolling. You know, like do you see it switching around to Webb versus Lawrence like towards the end? Is what I'm saying. Like, do you see Tomac falling that far off right now and letting Coop come up into the points with Hunter?
I don't
Or do you
think
think once
Tomac.
Tomac falls off, Hunter just takes off?
I don't think Tomac's gonna fall off that hard. Like I feel like if he falls off, it might be a race or two, but I don't think he's gonna fall off to the point where he drops down to third or fourth even in the championship. I think if anything, it's gonna go back and forth between Hunter and Tomac. And what I believe here is I think Hunter is actually gonna fall off from a second. Like let's say next round.
Okay, I like that.
Here's my prediction. I don't think Hunter Lawrence is good, right? He's there in the championship, but I have more. I think Hunter is bound to fall off more than Tomac would, and I could see Hunter dropping to third or even fourth in the championship, and then Cooper Webb, Roxon, or Chase Sexton going to second and third. But I think if there was two riders that were going to fall off between Tomac and Lawrence, I think Lawrence is going to fall off harder than Tomac would. I think Tomac just had one tough race, and had he not fallen, wouldn't have been a big deal. And I mean, he just made a mistake. That's really it. And I mean, we keep saying this one bad race, one bad race. All it takes is Ken Rock or Tomac to have another one bad race, or Hunter Lawrence, and then sure enough, Tomac and Hunter Lawrence are in third and fourth, and then Kenny and Chase Sexton are in first and second, right? Or
Do
even
you
Cooper Webb.
think right? Okay, I like that. Do you think that I'm not no? I love Tomac. Tomac's good. I'd love to see him win this year. It'd be awesome. New team, get it done. It'd be sick. I think he's gonna be the only guy to do it, or not the only guy to do it, but he's done it repetitively. Did it with Yamaha. Did it with and they're probably gonna do it with KTM. Whatever. Do you see that crash being kind of like a I don't know, like for instance, I think once Anderson pushed Kenny wide, I think it was kind of over for Kenny right there. In my opinion, I think he was kind of like, man, like I don't know. Do you see that crash from Tomac being like a I don't know a mental like fuck
Like a scare
in a way?
tactic almost.
Yeah, like oh do you see that kind of
No.
fucking with him, or does a guy like Tomac crash like that and then just immediately forget about Houston and then so on?
I say he forgets about Houston and goes. I mean, he raced last year with a broken leg. Now, did that last long? No, he only did that one round and then called it quits. But Tomac is, I think, if there's one person in the 450 class that is willing to push it over the edge and go crazy, I think Tomac is that one. I don't think Ken Roxon's willing to do it. I think Chase Sexton's willing to do it. We saw Chase Sexton try to do it multiple times last year. He's willing to push it over the edge, but it cost him. It cost him, but I think the only other rider in the 450 class that's willing to push it over the edge and actually go for it is Tomac. Genuinely.
Right. Right. Okay. So we see on the Yami like Tomac like make the first mistake and then it just progressively happens. Um, do you think that KTM's is different? Those guys are different over there. You think that's that one, and he's gonna be there? I mean, I so what I'm getting at is like it 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 takes ah get it out, Hunter. It takes one bad fucking race. You know what I mean? And
Just for a
dude
mental switch.
right. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Had that been a main event, 20-minute one dog, and that happened, bro, like, oof,
I
that would have
mean,
been a.
here's another way to look
I
at it
think he would
too.
have lost the points lead, bro.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, he would have crawled back, but maybe to like
So
fifth. I'll give him.
here's another thing to look at, right?
It was
Triple Crown race. He crashed. I think he was last place, and he made it all the way back up to 13th place. Now, keep in mind, Triple Crown races are shorter than main events. So, if this was a normal main event race, would he have made it to 8th place instead of 13th? Would he have made it to 6th? We don't know. But considering he was last place in a Triple Crown race after the crash, got back up, made it all the way back up to 13th, which I mean it's pretty impressive, I'd say, but also that track was short. It was they had short lap times. So I mean, I mean, I don't think there's going to be a mental switch at all. I think if there was one, he wouldn't have gotten that far up, and then I don't think he would have done. I don't think he would have gotten first in the third race had there been a mental switch. I think the mental switch starts as soon as the crash happens, not next weekend. If anything, next weekend the mental switch is I'm about to go fuck these dudes up and I'm gonna win now. Like no more games. I can't no more mistakes. Like it's time. It's time to lock in and win. That's my thing. I think if there was a mental switch it would have happened at Houston as soon as he got back on the bike.
I like it. I like it.
But we don't know that. We won't know till next few races and
Right.
I
Who
mean,
impressed you the most, and who left you with some questions after Houston?
who impressed me the most was Jason Anderson. Who left me with questions was Chase Sexton. I mean, dude's fast. Chase Sexton's got it. But man, his starts are trash now. Buddy's just not consistent anymore.
Dude,
I mean, he never really
it's
was
Chase.
consistent. But Jason
Correct me if I'm
Anderson
wrong, OP,
was
but
very impressive.
I agree. He was there every freaking start in my guy's way, but it's all good. As far as Chase, dog, what do you think about this? Here's the way I see it, dude. Get the F out of your head, bro. It's you versus you.
Yeah, no,
Just
Chase
fucking
Sexton's always in
ride,
his head.
man. Do what you were literally born to do, Chase. Ride the effing bike, man. What is the effing deal? We've seen him switch all these bike brands and it's still the same damn problem. I would start, if I was Chase, I'm starting to look in the mirror and go, dude, what the fuck are you doing wrong? Like fucking get with it, dog. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that's how he is right now, or do you think he's like, mediocre weekend, and we'll get him next weekend?
I
He's
feel
got to be scratching his head. Says you know what I mean? We've seen it. A1 crash right before the tunnel. Houston, couple crashes, or there's just God, Chase. Jeez, I wanna cheer for the guy, but every time I put him in my fucking picks, man, he screws me.
yeah. I mean, here's my thing with Chase, and I agree with you. He probably needs to look in the mirror and say, "What the hell's going on?" Because I, I agree with that. It's him versus him. Switched three different bike brands.
Like, dude needs to
And
go build a sand track, make the deepest fucking ruts, and just nail every, like, just spend fucking hours on that, dude. Like, what? In my opinion, it's just simple front end washouts, which, of course, we're not fucking pros. We're not riding on the stiff suspension. We're not on the track, so we really can't. But I'm just talking from the outside looking in. Like, at some point, dude, you got to look in the mirror and go, dude, fucking get it together. This isn't a
no, I
bike
agree.
problem no more. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think what he needs to do is just ride his races. No pressure needed. Just go ride. You know, get used to the bike. Just try, obviously go to win, but also get used to the bike. Figure it out. Just ride your race. I think there's too much outside noise that he probably looks at and listens to as well. But he just needs to do it himself. But I am gonna have to cut this stream short. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we cut it? We cut it short.
No, I mean, that's that pretty much sums up Houston. I think this one was kind of a mid-ish podcast. It wasn't, not like a bunch of juicy shit happened other than Levi and Deegs, but I do want to mention one thing. Cooper Webb got very lucky in one of those mains. I think it was the second one. Went over the
Oh yeah.
finish, and him and Kenny got together. Like, it very much so could have. There's your championship right there. You know what I mean? So to stay alive and in it after that, I mean, fuck, dude, you got to see him there at the end. And as bad as I hate to say that, man, fuck, he's gonna be there in the end. But that's a wrap for me on Houston.
Yeah, I do apologize for it being so short. Just got to take care of some personal things. But hopefully, next week we'll come in swinging for Glendale. I'm excited. That track looks fun. So, uh, yeah, I think in my and you pretty much said it here, Hunt. 250s was pretty snoozy. 450s was more fun to watch and a lot of battles that went on. So, but yeah, I'm hoping. I think Glendale's gonna be good.
I agree. The way the track is, it's a long track. It speaks in tongues for Kenny Roxon, so we'll see if he can get a rebound. I hate to talk about Kenny so much, but I'm a Kenny guy. You're a Coop guy, so we'll see who gets Glendale. We'll see you in Glendale. We'll see you for Glendale OP. We'll have a bounce back. We'll knock your guy off the top.
There we go. And then yeah, we should have Gen C also next week too. So should have more to talk about. But yeah, um, but yeah, that's it for me. When you got anything else, Hunt?
Nope, nothing other than love y'all. See y'all later. Gay Drop Radio out.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll see you guys at Glendale. And yeah, we'll go from there.